Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pints of View, the show where I get comedians drunk and we play count. Oh, not that one. We discuss the news. That's it. We've already had a couple comments. Jordan Stokes in the chat. I'm assuming tonight is an election special. You assume incorrectly. I doubt the election's even going to be mentioned in the news today. I mean, when I load up the BBC News website, I doubt it's that. Anyway, I need some friends in real life and on the stream. Please welcome Anthony Deary and Kitty Messalina.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, you wonderful
Just pouring
people.
the wine.
No, that's good. That's good going. I need to open my second beer of the night. Very happy with that. Because usually I start drinking at 7. I had a nap and I woke up at 10 to 8. So I've quickly crammed a beer in that 40 minutes before now. And yeah, I'm ready to discuss some motherfucking news. But first off, we ask Anthony Deary, what are you drinking tonight?
At the moment, I'm on the Coors Light. But I might switch over to some rum later because I've been drinking since 4. So
nice.
Yeah, because I knew I was coming on here, so I thought I'll get a little bit tipsy and then let's go for it.
I like that. Kitty, what are you drinking? Oh, yeah, you said wine.
I'm on the white wine. That's
you are.
right here.
Well, you're also dressed quite fabulously. What's the story behind this?
It's #Black Fae Day. Someone on Twitter basically said there aren't enough black people and POC generally represented in fantasy. Every time you see any artwork, any movie, even though it's make-believe, you can have dragons, you can have elves, but black people, what? So today is #Black Fae Day, and this is, I think, the third outfit I've got through today.
Right now, yes, I've been following your Facebook photos and what you've been uploading. It's very nice. Yeah. Right, shall we have a look at the news? Is it going to be election themed? What do you think the front page of the news is going to look like?
I've deliberately not looked.
I haven't looked.
Yeah, it's election. I'm sorry. It's all elections. It's literally, there's no other stories. Everything is election, except for Chelsea beat Man City. So that's good. Well done. Well done. Labour's deputy leader Angela Rayner sacked as party chair. The story is. So I was watching a interview with Rebecca Long Bailey, which sounds like a drink itself.
Rebecca Long Bailey.
See, you know what? What you're just singing there, Rebecca Long Bailey has the exact amount of syllables. Jeremy Corbyn doesn't. You have to stick an O. You can go Rebecca Long Bailey.
He's the O. He's just replacing the O Jeremy Corbyn song with O Rebecca Long Bailey. She's got an extra syllable now.
No, but Rebecca Long Bailey, that's enough syllables. Don't add more. She's got the perfect amount of
syllables. O, because it's
But it should be Magical Grandpa. Anyway, so yeah, she was.
Is it based on an actual tune? I thought it was just the
White Stripes, Seven Nation Army.
Yeah.
Do you know the original lyrics?
No, it's not, because that's
the original lyrics.
Dum, 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 dum. Yeah, I've covered that in a Year 9 band we put together for a full 3 months.
And you also wrote Seven Nation Army at the same time with the same tune. I think you need to have a word with Jack and Meg White. Are they sisters? Are they brothers? Are they married? Who knows? Yeah, so Rebecca Long Bailey was essentially saying how so many people are blaming the lack of Labour elections, winning the elections, on Jeremy Corbyn, who has not been the leader of the Labour Party in over a year.
How's that work out like?
Apparently, they're caught in the long shadow of Corbyn. Corbyn will forever haunt them.
So I'm going to hold my hands up and say I used to be a member of the Labour Party. I'm not a member of the Labour Party, but I did vote Labour in this most recent. I would just say, but I'm a lefty socialist who's always damn it, Labour, you're not left enough. And so the fact that we've got this kind of very moderate centre-ish thing going on, and then they've lost a bunch of votes, they can no longer blame Corbyn and be we were too left, because they've lost even more. So
I was saying to you before the stream started, wasn't I? This is the first year I haven't voted. I've voted every year since I was 18.
Did you spoil your ballot?
No, probably not. I know I didn't even bother even turning up because I just thought no. I just weren't interested because I just think that fucking Keir Starmer or whatever his fucking name is, he's just a bit of a Tory, isn't he? So I'm just not into him. I can't vote Labour when you've got a fucking Tory in charge.
The thing is, if you spoil your ballot, if you go and vote and actually right over the top of it, they're all fucking dickheads, then they register it as a protest vote. Whereas if you don't show up, they just think you're apathetic. And I very nearly spoiled a ballot, but then I was really worried that if I spoiled a ballot and we got a Tory in, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself. So I kind of grudgingly went, all right then. But
it would be nice. It would be nice if Keir Starmer could disagree with Boris. That is what the opposition is meant to do.
And immediately, not like 3 weeks later after lots of party pressure. Oh, all right then, maybe we should have said no. The opposition, and with such a massive majority, it's really easy to just go, we think they're wrong. You actually don't need to do much as a leader of a tiny opposition when you haven't actually got a chance of overturning the vote. You just have a chance to go, I don't think they should be doing that. That's all you need to do. And they haven't.
Yeah. It's like Andy Burnham has been very vocal about his opposition against the Prime Minister, and he gets elected mayor. And there's a bunch of that has been happening. Like a bunch of people who've been very vocal and very sort of like stating what they think about the current government and who are Labour, and they are all getting voted in. And it's like, maybe that's a tactic to follow. Maybe disagree once in a while. Don't just go, oh, well, I think Boris is doing quite a good job. Then what is the point of you being in charge of the opposition? Angela Rayner has been sacked from her roles as party chair and campaign coordinator following poor results in the English local elections. I think the reason why they've got rid of her is because they can't fire Jeremy Corbyn again.
And they've already got rid of so many leftist people. I mean, especially, so my MP, I love her to pieces. She's the baby of the house, Nadia Whittome, Nottingham East. She is an absolute treasure. She is really strongly spoken on all of the things, being like, hey, maybe poor people matter. And she used to be a carer, and when the pandemic first hit and Parliament wasn't going in, she went back to caring, then got fired from her caring thing for speaking out about the lack of PPE, and then Keir Starmer came out and went, no one should be fired for speaking out on what they believe in. And it's really great that she's a carer. And then a week or two later, she refused to abstain from a vote on torturing people or whatever. And so then he fired her for speaking up on what she believed in from being a junior minister of something. She was then just any other small MP, and it was literally a week or two ago you were going, well done for standing up for what you believe in and talking out on behalf of carers and the lack of PPE, and then 2 weeks later they fired her from her junior position because she wouldn't abstain and had to vote against and put up a fucking opposition. This Tory bill that was and that was the same time. I think they got rid of RLB at the same time. Actually, there was a whole bunch of them. Corbyn was one of them. He keeps being kicked out of things. I know it's been a thing. But all the people who are hey, we have principles, we think we should maybe, even though it won't make a difference, actually vote on behalf of our constituents and oppose in the opposition, got in trouble with Starmer. So I do not like him.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit of an idiot when it comes to politics. So I'm just can't we just have Jeremy Corbyn back, please? Because I liked him. You know what I mean? He was, you know what I mean? You looked at him and he looked like what was his name? Was it Obi-Wan Kenobi, wasn't it, in Star Wars? You know what I mean? He was here to save the world. Guinness. Yeah, I think is that who he played, was he?
I think so.
Yeah, he looked like he was there to save the world, and then we just folks in some fucking fella who pushed his hair with a lollipop. You know what I mean?
When the pandemic hit and they were oh, people need money to survive, and actually the people who take your bins out or at the checkout workers or whatever are essential, and we do need to take care of them more than the banks and the CEOs. And they went, oh, people are suddenly working from home and having classroom lessons over Zoom, and we need to be able to provide them internet. And everyone was a month ago oh, it's internet communism to get BT to everyone. And then suddenly it was and it was their fully costed manifesto, everyone was how are you going to afford that? And then they spent billions on nonsense contracts with Matt Hancock's friends for PPE that didn't work and stuff, and masks didn't work.
So you're saying that Corbyn was so about getting free internet to people that he may have released the coronavirus just so it happened?
I'm not saying that.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't care about being leader as long as everyone gets free internet.
I feel if I were Jezza, every single time the Tories were forced to implement something to vaguely give the appearance of giving a shit, and it was something that he'd mentioned a few months ago, I'd have been there can you guys not hear me? Did you I literally said that? That's literally, like, I did A-level drama, and in my A-level drama group, anytime I had a suggestion, people would just ignore it, and then 10 seconds later, someone would say the exact same thing. Go, oh, that's a really good idea, and I feel like that's what's just happened to Jezza.
I remember a school field trip to Egypt. I would have been 9 at the time, and we went to. I lived in Cyprus. Okay, it was a ferry across the sea.
Okay.
And there was a guide on how they made papyrus, right? And they said the actual process takes 2 to 3 hours, and at the end it looks like this. And I said, hilariously, for a 9-year-old, I went, "Oh, here's one you made earlier," and like no one heard it. 10 seconds later. Gary Barfield, fucking cunt. He's near the front, and then he says, "Oh, is that one? Here's one you made earlier." And everyone laughs, and I'm like, "Oh, fuck you all, fuck you."
What I'm going to say about that though is you get to Egypt, and I went to Colomendi. What's that say? You know what I mean? Have you ever heard about Colomendi? It was just it was like a little a shed in Wales. We just go there, and we used to have just like a rumor going around that there was a ghost called Pegleg. It's like a pirate, but you're in the middle of like Wales. There was no sea around you, but there was a ghost called Pegleg that haunted the place, and so that's what I had. And you went to Egypt.
I lived in Cyprus, okay?
Maybe as leader of the party, seeing all these losses, maybe I should take. No, he just went, the deputy can get in trouble.
It's like when a football team starts being really shit, they get rid of the manager. And it's like, I don't know why. And it's like, why don't they do this with the politics?
Can he be sacked? Can he? Can he just get get told to get the fuck out?
You can have a vote of no confidence, but like,
it's a long process.
So why don't you just do that then?
Because they don't know who they're going to replace with. I mean,
get Jeremy Corbyn back, but it'll be all right then.
No, the thing is, he has been so stained by the media and all of that over the years that like he is now unable to be elected, and only because they repeatedly said how unelectable he is. But I will now accept that has now sunk into the population that they, internet communism, you can't have him.
What I love is how Jeremy Corbyn, like everyone kept saying he was unelectable, and then when it was a vote of no confidence, he didn't even win that. That's how unelectable he was. He couldn't even win the election, saying that he was shit. Right, I've got a bunch of tabs here. Anthony, you're going to go first.
Entertainment and arts. Go on.
Entertainment and arts. So, who has been outed as a sex freak? Harry Redknapp. So Harry Redknapp and other surprise TV cameo. Oh, this is a listicle. This isn't fucking news. Harry Redknapp's appearing in EastEnders.
Oh, bloody hell.
Right. Do we have any EastEnders watchers even in the audience?
I used to watch it like ages ago. Like proper ages ago, but I haven't watched it for years.
Yes, theme tune's a banger.
That's as much as I know, and I think it's the one in a pub. That's as much as I've got for EastEnders.
It's basically the one where you can watch them one after the other and play the drinking game of drink whenever someone smiles, and you will be the most sober you've ever been in your life.
I'd hate to live there at Christmas though, because everyone, people die all the time around Christmas Day. Like someone just gets murdered, or there's a house fire or something like that. You're like the most unluckiest place in the world.
You have more chance of dying in a soap than you do of sharing a first name with someone in the same city. Redknapp will play Walford a visit this summer as the residents of Albert Square celebrate the delayed European champions. So Boris has been in EastEnders. This is a listicle. Ed Sheeran, Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
I liked that one.
I remember that. Yeah.
Prince Charles Coronation Street. Are they going to Donald Trump Days of Our Lives? Are they going to mention Morrissey in Brookside? Nope. Emma Bunton, absolutely fine, but that doesn't count as a cameo. That's a sitcom. She's a punchline. For fuck's sake.
It's just a joke.
There was Morrissey in Brookside, and they haven't even mentioned that. That's ridiculous.
I didn't know that in Prince Charles and Corrie.
Yeah, it was part of the show's 40th anniversary in 2000. Now then, it's time to play. Are they dead in real life or on the soap? Here, right. In this picture, we've got Mike Baldwin. Is the actor who played Mike Baldwin dead or alive?
He's dead at both, isn't he? Dead both in real life.
Dead in both, yes. He died in some sort of hostage situation on the show. And it was in the last year.
I was about to say, then he's obviously, if he's dead in real life, he's definitely dead on the soap, isn't he? Not if he's still going to be on the soap. So
sometimes people have died off camera and then they're just like, oh, they moved away. Like,
yeah, like
nice.
I think that's how they're going to do it with T'Challa in the Black Panther sequel. Like he's fighting aliens on another planet with Captain Marvel. That's it.
That's nice.
Here we've got Deirdre and Deirdre's mom, who's got it going on. Are these two dead in real life, dead in the show, or both?
It's a 50-50 guess. They're alive in both.
They are both dead in both.
Is Deirdre Barlow dead?
Yes, the actress who played Deirdre Barlow has died. No, she is dead. I think that's right then. And our final one, which is going to Anthony. Prince Charles, alive or dead?
Last I checked the news, Prince Charles was alive.
Yeah, but weirdly, his character in Coronation Street is dead.
Is he?
Oh, speaking of Coronation Street, they're doing a storyline based on a real life murder of a goth girl. So they've now decided that one character in Coronation Street is now a goth, and she's going to get attacked in the street. Thoughts on this?
I've seen the charity foundation's done a lot of good work as well. I don't know if this is. It depends on how they do it. I think it could be hey, murdering people because how they look is bad, helpful thing, or it could be really poor taste of this was an actual person and you've made it for drama. And
I really do hope that the lesson is that doing that is bad. I don't think they're going to be pro murder of goths.
Well, even so, if they do it in any way, like sometimes you get some like assault scenes, and then they film it in a way that's really like titulating or whatever, and you're like, this is not the way to film this. I think
informative
it's about
murder porn, I believe, is how South Park described it.
When I was younger, I had long hair and like piercings and stuff like that. And listened to heavy metal and that. Still listen to heavy metal now. But when I listened, like when we were kids and that, growing up in Liverpool. Like obviously, there's a lot of scallies about, and when we used to hang around in there. I don't know if you said it's called St. John's Gardens. We used to hang around in there, and like used to have like all like the scally lads coming in. They'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing here? You're bad goths and that." They didn't call us goths; they call us goths.
Goths.
Call us goths because
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and then
so then you're in Game of Thrones.
But my mates would all my mates run away, and I'd be like, "What are you just running away for?" It's like, "Don't run away." So then you just think like you're scared and that. You know what I mean? But yeah, they were just that. Like I think like because we obviously looked a bit different. Everyone was like, "Oh, they're fucking weirdos then." But like we are like I am weird, but I'm not like not like I've got black blood and that. You know what I mean?
I don't think anyone has. I think.
That's what it was like. It was like, oh, look at him there. He like fucking shags the devil and that. I'm like, no, I don't.
See, I fit into too many different demographics. So if I'm being attacked for the way I look, I then need to clarify. Like, is this a hate crime? Which one? Like, is it because I'm queer and I've got the tattoo saying I'm queer? Is it just that I have the tattoo? Is it, because I'm not white? Is what's going on here? Oh, it's just misogyny. That's boring. Like, I need to.
Yeah.
Too many things.
Right. So that is the news that Coronation Street once had Prince Charles on the show. And then it ended in misogyny and racism. So I don't know what the link is there.
You have me on the show. They're going to make an appearance.
Kitty, you've got some tabs here. Which tab would you like us to look at?
Should we go for some tech? That might be uplifting.
Twitter is adding a tip jar to pay for good tweeting.
Wow.
Basically, I have a tip jar myself. It's an online tip jar. It's on your screen right now. It's paypal.me/frizzfrizzle. But I get down when I put a lot of effort in a tweet or content and it doesn't really get any retweets. I did an amazing bit of content this morning, which is the Bring Him Home from Les Mis, but to the tune of Adam's Song by Blink-182. He's like the sun, I might have known if God had granted me a son. When I had that idea, I thought Twitter's going to love this. It got 2 retweets, one of them being myself.
Oh,
So I
Wow.
don't imagine how bad I'm going to feel if I do a tweet and don't earn any money from it, if this is going to be the new norm.
the thing is, for it to like be a tip jar type thing and all that, for just general tweeting, then you end up with the thing where, like, if it's mainstream enough, then it'll actually kind of get some support from the masses, and anything that's like slightly unique might tailor off into being too niche and therefore not getting the millions. Or I don't tweet. I'm not a twit twat. I don't really know how it all goes, but I kind of feel like, you know, generic, vaguely famous-ish person posts their breakfast and it's like, oh, that's fine, and then someone posts an opinion and then it's nothing.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
And
Can
yeah, so
anyone get a Twitter tip jar, or is it just for like verified celebrities?
at the moment, I believe it is a trial run, but you can link for your PayPal. And this is what Rachel Toback found out. Huge heads up on PayPal Twitter tip jar. If you send a person a tip using PayPal, when the receiver opens up the receipt from the tip you sent, they get your address.
Oh,
That's not good, is it?
So wait, is it the person who sends it or the person who receives it whose address comes up?
If you send a person a tip, when the receiver opens up the receipt from the tip you sent, they get your address, so the sender's
person
address.
Who sends it. So if you send someone
right.
money, you also send your address. So it's
Yes.
it's not the person who wants the tips suddenly they have to do
No.
that, they send the address, but at the same time, if you want to give someone money, you send it
Yeah.
with your address, and that's
Right.
terrifying too.
I was going to say, if it was the other way around, I'd be sending a father to Robbie Williams so I can go and bank in his bushes. So,
Anthony, would you like to choose a tab?
I'll go family and education.
Oh, that must be nice. Family and education. So which family member turned out to be a sex pervert? Nicole, NYC cancels school snow days. This is from 2 hours ago. Snow days have been cancelled. Oh no, here is a downside to lockdown. Now that schools run efficiently using Zoom technology, whenever there's a snow day in New York, the kids don't get the day off school. It's like, yep, hop onto Zoom. There are no more snow days. Snow days don't exist anymore.
That's why that, isn't it? I remember the heating broke in our school once and we got sent home and I was made up. If you would have told me I had to go on Zoom, I would have been proper fuming. I'd be like, I've got no internet because Jeremy Corbyn never got in.
Yeah, with us, when school in Cyprus, often we had sandstorms, and that was interesting. Super Cafe Mocha asked, but then if I'm sick for work or sick for school, they'll still make me go in, won't they? Do you think that's a case? Like, if you, for example, if you broke your foot, right? Could you do a Zoom call, but you're the only one on Zoom? The rest of the class are there in person.
I don't think they're currently set up to have like partial Zoom, partial in person. Like, give it time, they'll get there. But I think right now it's kind of an everyone on, everyone off sitch.
Yeah, see, like if you like, I don't think they'll like bring a laptop in and just like put you in the class next to your mate and like. Shut
but
up.
to be fair, that's kind of what people did.
Stop talking in class.
You know, like at uni, there was always someone like, here's a tape recorder, like not a tape recorder like old school, but they'd be like, you know, here's, you know, whatever they'd got. It's like, you know, just get in there, press the record button. I'll download the slides off Moodle, and I want to have the audio for it. And they wouldn't show up to the bloody lectures, and then they could like listen back at like 3 times speed and like didn't have to show up to lectures. And it was very sad because they told me I was going to get given one of these recorder things as like a disability allowance thing, and I never freaking got it. So I had to go or like miss them and not get the things. And it's like, why am I recording for other people? Where's my recorder?
During my GCSE maths coursework era, I had to have operation on both my big toes because both my big toes had ingrown nails. They've removed the nail. I now have no big toenails, and it's often a fact that I drop at dinner parties, and then the dinner party gets cancelled because I've brought up my toenails again. But I was off for a good month of school, and I was doing maths coursework, and I could do coursework at home. I had access to a computer, and you know, maths, it doesn't change if you're not there. So I was able to do my coursework within a couple of weeks and handed it in. Well, I got my mum to drop it off. What I didn't know until 2 weeks after when I was back at school. And everyone hated me because I was the only person who delivered their coursework in on time. And Mr. Footit, our maths teacher, kept bringing me up saying, well, if Frizzle's off ill and he's able to do it on time, surely you in a classroom can do it.
What was the maths teacher's name?
Mr. Footit. And not only that, he was a PE science teacher. He taught physical education, science and physical education.
But Footit, and you had foot stuff going on.
Yes.
Cool.
He was being getting called fucker in our school.
Fuck it, yes.
Fuck it, definitely. We used to have a teacher called Miss Hunt, and you know how that went.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She was science, and she called us all little bastards once, and we were like, oh.
We had a completely bald RE teacher called Mr. Merron. That was amazing.
Oh yeah. What was his nickname?
Baldy cunt. Okay, Kitty, what tab would you like?
What's going on in pictures?
In pictures? Oh, I'm sure
I'm
it's
already enough in my cups in the wine that I'm
dogs at polling station.
I'm glad I chose this.
Amazing.
This is the best news story.
Look at that.
They're so good.
That's the cutest picture I've ever seen in my life.
So I guess we're gonna have to talk about polling stations at this point. Kitty, you voted on Thursday, did you?
Yeah.
What was your polling station experience?
I didn't see any dogs. I'm
Didn't
really
you?
sad. Also, I forgot to bring my own pen or pencil, and they had some there that had been fully sanitized, they said, and then you go and put it in a different, like, red bucket at the end. And then when I left, my friend told me that they're apparently throwing away all the used pencils. And it's like, well, I would have fucking stolen the pencil then. It's like, surely they're just re-sanitizing them. That doesn't make any sense. But like,
it's very rare you get to find a little pencil or pen, and the rule usually is if you are using a little pen or pencil, you are taking that fucker. Whether it's IKEA, Argos, going mini golfing, or voting.
I really wanted to, but the thing is, I'd accidentally left it like on the little desky bit, so I had to go back for it. Like, oh no, I don't leave that there. Where do I put it? And then it's like over there. And like after all of that, I couldn't then like tuck it in my hair and walk out. Like,
we had a massive Tory candidate, like huge, like that's me calling someone huge, standing outside, and he basically wasn't allowed to say, make sure you vote Conservative because that's illegal. But he was very much. Oh, hello. Like he wasn't making any conversation. He was just there. And it's like a bouncer when you go
into voter intimidation.
Yeah, just strong armor people.
He wasn't saying anything. He was just saying hello there. And it's not voter intimidation, but I am reminded of like when I tried to sneak into clubs when I was 17 and the bouncers would just sort of stare me out and I go, fine, I'm underage. And there is some psychology there. And yeah, I just want to he wasn't approaching anyone. He was just stood there smiling. And it's like, is that allowed? What are you doing?
When I was 16 or 17, I was kicked out of the outside of a polling station for talking about politics because I was talking about how 16, 17-year-olds weren't being given the vote. And at the time, it was actually a Lib Dem policy, I think. Or was it Green? I don't think it was a Labour policy. But I was talking about how, 16, 17-year-olds weren't being given the vote and it wasn't being made enough of an issue, and how I was really frustrated that as a 16, 17-year-old, I couldn't vote. And talking about how I couldn't vote outside a polling station was talking about politics, and I got ejected from the premises.
I remember I told this story on the Thursday night election stream with Mark Grimshaw, but I remember in 2010, I was living in Newcastle. Yeah, that is a tiny dog, and that bow tie.
That's the cutest dog, by the way. I'll be sitting here the whole time, like, oh.
It is amazing. It's really, basically, if people don't want to listen to politics talk, they can look at these dogs. So the 2010 election, I was living in Newcastle at the time, and a woman walked in, and she really kicked off that David Cameron's name wasn't on any of the polling cards. She forgot it wasn't America, and we're not voting for the Prime Minister and their name. We're voting for the representative. So the volunteers at the polling station were stuck in a very weird conundrum because they weren't allowed to say, vote Tory, but how do you convey the information? If you want David Cameron to win, then vote Conservative. But of course, they're not allowed to say the phrase vote Conservative. But she was really kicking off.
It's a party, and the local.
Yeah, and it was just really annoying, and I came to the conclusion it was the opposite of a tweet that went viral a few years ago during the Brexit referendum about someone. Oh, my 93-year-old blind nana. That's amazing.
Oh,
Cat
that's
That's my cat
application.
in a bow tie.
That's really cute.
Yeah, my 93-year-old blind nana walked to the polling station and said, which is the box for leave? And the whole place applauded. Because that story didn't actually happen. So, yeah, that story didn't actually happen. My one did, and it was the actual opposite of what was going on. Just a very confused woman kicking off. Shall we see one more dog?
Yeah, but I've never had to outside my polling station, you know.
Oh.
Never. I fell over last time I went there, like.
You fell over?
No, this fella, because it's like our polling station's in like a school. Yeah, and so this old guy, he was walking out and he tripped over the step, and I helped him up. That's the most slam I've had. It was from a side though. Like there's like around by in Liverpool, it's all Labour in it.
Talk about a swaying voter. We do jokes on this show sometimes.
See, I always dress with the appropriate colour for whoever I'm voting for, because even though you're not allowed to have like party signifiers, if I'm voting Labour, I'll be wearing red. That one time I had a Green candidate and I actually knew them personally and I was voting Green, I wore green. And it's like, you know, even like down to the socks, you've got to everything like fully in the colour. So even though like you're not really flagging, you're kind of flagging.
I was wearing a green jumper that day, but that's because I have a green jumper at work. And I was going straight to work afterwards. But yeah, there were no green candidates. So
also, I'm a millennial, so I always have to take a selfie at the polling station, and the signs are always really massive, which is helpful. But you can't get all of the sign in because, like, I'm not carrying a selfie stick because I'm not a twat. So, like, you're trying to get the entire sign in and your face in, and maybe your red outfit in, and then it's just like you can't. And then people are like, oh, "What's an Oling-tation?" or whatever, and you're like,
yeah. Oh, you were actually at the rolling situation, weren't you? So you caught me.
The pollen statio, and it's like I get it all in. My arms are short.
Jokes are fun, right? We're going to see one more dog because I wasn't impressed with that one.
No, that one made like.
Oh,
that's a good dog.
That's cute.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
These are so good. This is the best show now. This is just like fuck the politics. Let's see the doggos.
A lot of these, I don't even know if they're voting. Dogs aren't allowed to vote, right?
I don't think that most of them are old enough. You have to be at least 18.
Yeah, that dog is a polling station.
That dog was
hashtag dogs.
Brexit.
Yeah. Oh no. The Brexit dog's definitely that one.
Yeah.
That's the Brexit. Okay.
We're taking our country back, dog.
That dog's crying.
He's cute.
That dog they've been in power for so long.
We've got an SNP dog. We've ended here on Boris Johnson. So I think we covered everyone.
One of my locals.
Chernobyl alcohol drink seized by authorities.
Is that in like Chernobyl? Is in like the place that in Russia? Oh, right, okay.
So the first bottles of an artisanal spirit made using apples grown near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant have been seized by Ukrainian authorities. The Chernobyl Spirit Company said 1,500 bottles of atomic, with a K, alcoholic, with a C, drink were confiscated on 19th of March and taken to the Kiev prosecutor's office. So that is what that looks like.
Fuck?
You can see it glowing.
You couldn't think that, could you?
I don't know. It's been quite a few years. I think a lot of it is getting safe now, and they're trying to be like a little bit cautious.
Who's the first one to think, how can I get drunk out of this?
I mean, it does say for the UK market, so
yeah. I mean,
that's someone who's like, right,
Brexit got you, everyone. This is what Brexit got you. We've now got radioactive vodka.
That's mad, isn't it? Why would you even do that?
I'm still kind of like intrigued.
Oh yeah,
I think that makes me really sad. Is like I think it's Chernobyl where there are like stray dogs around the place, and you're not allowed to pet them, and it makes me like really sad that there's these dogs that you can't pet in case they're like radioactive or something.
So you can't pet a dog, but you can drink vodka.
Well, they've seized the vodka, so apple spirit, so clearly you can't drink it.
Here's a fun thing about the company that make it. They are now awaiting the outcome of an investigation by the Ukrainian security services, but say they have no idea why the shipment was seized. Like, what are you doing? What's wrong with our radioactive cider? What are you doing?
It doesn't seem to be about the radioactivity. It seems to be about the stamps. So actually, it's probably safe now. It's probably genuinely. It's been what, like 40 years nearly.
Yeah, it's actually made by scientists who work in the area.
That's science. That's safe. That's fine.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you want to read that quote for me?
No more radioactive than any other vodka.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I mean, put that on your fucking label.
Have you ever tried Glenn's vodka?
Yeah, that's pretty radioactive.
Yeah. So you got a £5 bottle of that of a Saturday. We'll sit in the park and drink that.
I would love to see like a funded scientific paper to try and see any benefits you can get from having like Chernobyl apples. And I bet somewhere after so many experiments, they'd be like, hey, turns out it makes you like less susceptible to long COVID or something. Like, I feel like
I'd love that to be a cure.
Wait,
just radioactive. And then they could do a sequel to Chernobyl, the TV series. Now it's relevant again. I'm not
vodka made from apples, is it?
Potatoes.
It's not vodka. It's apple spirit.
Yeah, you know, like apple sours or
yeah. I was going to say
those shots you used to get served in test tubes when you were 17 illegally in a nightclub, and a bouncer would look at you funny.
They were naughty then, weren't they?
They were hideous. Apple sours, I don't think I've had since 2015. Was the last time? 2016 was the last time I had apple sours.
I had apple sours on a live stream last year.
I think.
Yeah, I think once I reached the age of 30, I felt I was too old for apple sours. That is the end of Pints of View. Awesome. Thank you very much to my guests, Anthony Leary and Kitty Messalina, and to everyone who commented. We're here every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. And yeah, it's a bit of fun. See you next time, everyone. Goodbye. Everyone wave. Everyone wave.